Ready?
Ready.
So who are you and why should anyone care?
I'm MelRose Michaels, and I am searching for a new personal assistant.
Dirty girl. I'm a dirty girl.
For those watching, can you introduce yourself?
I'm MelRose Michaels. I am a serial entrepreneur and an adult content creator on Onlyfans. I am the sole owner of Networthy Clothing, a for sex worker by sex worker clothing line that helps us take back public spaces. And I am the founder of sexworkceo.com, which is an adult educational resource that helps fill business skill gaps for sex workers. As many of the fans know, I have tried to launch a YouTube channel countless times and failed and just couldn't be consistent or didn't know what to vlog. I've tried to do this the easy way, and in true MelRose Michaels fashion, I'm going to proceed to do it the hard way now and turn it into this entire reality show series kind of vibe instead. I think it'll be interesting. I always am a little ambitious with these things, so if anything, the pressure of keeping this going should be enough to make me actually do so. This all for me kind of stems from, not having a lot of friends since I've moved here to Tennessee, and I felt really alone, especially with the additional challenges I face as an entrepreneur living in the South and living in a Bible Belt while being an OnlyFans creator. So there's just all this extra stigma that's attached to what I do. So it's really difficult to make friends and be open about my work because I feel like there's this new hurdle that I wasn't facing back when I lived in Chicago. So this is kind of what made me seek out the sense of community and look for people kind of like myself who I would be able to relate to and I wouldn't feel judged by. And that's kind of what prompted this whole thing to get started. So I really set out to kind of find a sense of community here, and I think now I've accomplished that. I'd say that this cast coming together was really strategic or really well planned out, but that's not true at all. I was actually just kind of seeking out friends that I could relate to and that I felt like were really well aligned with me. And us coming together and then the show coming together, that was entirely serendipitous.
So if the creation of Shameless in the South was a happenstance, how did you meet Jade, Tawni, and Conway?
She slid in my DMs.
She slid in my DMs.
Jade introduced me to MelRose poolside while we were relaxing at our apartment in downtown.
So what is the ultimate goal of Shameless in the South? What do you hope to achieve by putting the show out there?
I want people tuning into this to see that we're real people living real lives and that there's so much going on that you're not seeing on our social media pages or on our fan sites. We're a group of seriously skilled and seriously talented individuals, and we are building businesses and brands way beyond what we do in terms of content creation online. I think that after seeing us in our elements and how we grow and evolve and also getting to be a part of it while we're accomplishing things, I think that will give people a better understanding of why we do what we do.
Who is Katie to you?
Katie to me, Katie is one of my best friends locally here in the Nashville area. She is the single most interesting person I know, hands down, and she has really been through some tough shit and lived to talk about it. I have the utmost admiration and respect for her, and she's just a beautiful, extremely generous, extremely kind fucking human being. Katie's also one of the only people in my inner circle that's actually not in the adult industry and not related to adult content creation at all. Oh, and I also slid into her DMs.
So did you grow up here? I didn't grow up here. So I was born in Pennsylvania. I was kind of by you in Pennsylvania. Yeah. And moved here to Illinois here, not here. When I was really young. So most of my life was Chicago, Midwest, Illinois. You just killed a butterfly. You just killed a really pretty butterfly. Splatted that bitch.
I didn't mean to kill the butterfly. That was an accident. I feel like a murderer. And if that's the case, then Katie's an accomplice.
No! Oh, that was a close one. That one lived. That was so close. major tree. Okay. Anyways, they're good. They're fine. They're on the farm. No, yeah. Lived in Illinois my whole life, and then found this place on Zillow. Came down, impulsively put an offer in. Decided we could be full country people, even though we know no one in Tennessee, had no support system whatsoever. And then got married like a week after we put the offer in. Told everyone at the wedding a few weeks later that we're moving. No one knew, and moved down. And then had to learn how to do farm things, like understand septic and like how well water works.
An idea what that even? Yeah. No.
Yeah, it was real hard. It was real hard.
So talking about the house is actually really overwhelming for me. It's kind of wild because we're building this house and this is our dream home and our forever home and the home that will raise our children in one day, entirely in cash, and we are going to own it outright, and that's because of the work I've done in the adult industry. And this is so significant to me because when I was growing up, you know, I didn't have a lot of financial security or stability in terms of like where we lived. We moved a lot. And there was a time where like I was served foreclosure notice on our home and then we had to move out abruptly. So I know what it's like to not have that sense of like security and stability in terms of a physical place to live. And I know that me doing this and us doing this the way we're doing this means that my children will never ever feel that, and that means a lot to me. And also just knowing like everyone in my family has a safe, soft place to land should they ever need one, like that is the ultimate goal for me. That is peak lifetime achievement.
Who are you doing it with? So, okay, do you know, I think you know of her. Jade Million?
Yeah, she did my tooth gym.
Yes, she did mine too. So I met her, well, first I found her on TikTok. Is it too much? Is that appropriate for wine?
Yeah, for us.
For us. I met her on TikTok. I found her on TikTok. And her song came on and she was on my For You page. I'm like, oh, this is a jam. Like, this is so fucking good. It was New You, Old Me. You know which one? And so I went, because she's a hot girl, right? So I go to Instagram and I was like, okay, let me follow you on Instagram. And then found out she was local. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna slide the DM and we should be friends. And so I did that and I was like, hey, you look like Shigo. I look like Impossible. Do you want to be friends?
That's your staple.
I know.
Sliding into girls' DMs.
So she responded and was like, yeah. And so we're planning to get together and do TikToks and stuff. So that was like how I guess I just started making friends locally. And then she had a centerfold link in her bio. So I'm like, oh, she's kind of in my lane of like, you know, the stigmatized girls in Nashville. So yeah, that was that. And then Tawni, so clothing line Networthy, she bought one of my shirts and then she tagged me in it on Instagram. Yeah, and she was at like a Starbucks that I go to. So I'm like, holy shit, she's local too. So slid her DM in true more fashion. I'm batting 100. I don't know. I slid your DM once too, so.
Yeah.
So
I was first. Actually,
you were first.
Oh,
you were first.
Yeah,
100% first. Yes. So that's how it came to be. And then when I got together with Jade, she introduced me to Conway. And Conway like lives in her building, and they're super cool. And Conway is on OnlyFans, and she's also like this bomb ass like gonna be a life coach, like this little like Zen center. So I feel like with the group as a whole, she kind of grounds everyone and like gives us the peace, the inner peace.
It's a really good mixture of people. There's like a personality for everyone.
Absolutely.
So what is Shameless in the South? Like, pitch it to me.
Okay,
What it
so this is gonna be bad because I don't have a pitch prepared. But I think in like you know me, because when I met you, I was like, I don't have girls I relate to locally, especially like in my line of work, being in the Bible Belt. Everyone's a little judgy.
Bitches. Judgy bitches.
It's been really hard to make friends. You're like the exception for sure. That's my corporate friend. So when I found them, I was like, oh, they're kind of in my lane, and maybe we get along, and the chemistry seems really good. So I think it'll just be a cool way to like showcase entrepreneurs who are also an adult, or like semi an adult. Not everyone does the same things, but that we have like real lives and real businesses, and also make us relatable because people just think we're just like, oh, I take a nude and get rich. Like, that's not how that works. It's a lot of work.
So much work.
So much work.
So is this kind of like an extension of your educational business? What's that called?
Sex Work CEO.
Sex Work CEO.
I wouldn't say it's an extension, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a very consumable way to showcase adult performers or like semi-adult performers. I don't want to categorize everyone. I don't know how they identify. But for me, it's like, okay, I'm a human. Like, this is my real life, and this is how I have to live and work in a place that doesn't really want me there.
And this gives you like a day in the life of what it actually takes.
Yeah, what it takes to do what we do. So,
cause it's a lot of work.
It's so much work. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to have you around, everyone. It's gonna be a blast. You're gonna love it.
I'm here to ride everyone's coattails. So again, did you see how weird I just fucking ate this? I was like, what the fuck was I doing?
What you can expect to see this season on Shameless in the South is a lot of your favorite OnlyFans creators dropping by doing cameos, some of our real life friends and family popping in to give you a really good look at what our lives look like here in the Bible Belt, and so much more.
We're on the street.
So he ended up getting angry and posted these, terrible nudes of me online.
Every day it was like, it felt so overwhelming.
Who knows what people were saying, but honestly, I don't give a fuck.
You know?
No, what the fuck does that mean?
What? Steph Shepard is like was Kim's personal assistant, and she's like famous. Next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Steph Shepard.
The perfect amount of famous. Like nobody knows if I'm a piece of shit human.
You're not gonna get canceled. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.